Okay, we're still working on the arms up here. What you're going to do, these arms don't go all the way. Some of this is the flesh area. You don't need to take too much out from the back of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the back portion of this, and I'm just going to start pushing it in here a little bit just to try to get some of this stuff out. Okay, and get that hole a little bit bigger. Alright, I'm going to go from side to side and try to get that a little bit bigger. I don't need to take too much else off because this is going to be tapered in, this is going to be rounded here. So I'm just going to, sometimes you can go from this side over to help you out a little bit. I know it's kind of rough looking when you first do it, but you know, it all comes out somehow, folks. And you can get it down. Alright. Just be careful you don't push your gouge into the face, too, when you're working this way. So I try to do everything from the bottom up. It seems a little bit easier. Alright. Now with that being said, what we're going to do is we're just going to round off the... We're just going to round this in a little bit. Get rid of all those marks. Now, see, you can probably get in there with your knife a little bit and round that off. But the reason this is a little more difficult than some of the other projects is because this is all the end grain here. You know, maybe, you know, if you had it this way, that the grain was running this way, it'd be a lot easier. But I think the way it was cut on the bandsaw, up and down, with the grain running this way, it made it a little more difficult. So it's going to be a little more of a challenge for you new folks, and you know, us old timers as well. You know, get in there and do this right. Again, use the water and mixture, and a very sharp knife. You'll be able to clean that up. And I'm going to go down here. I'm going to chop this more inward because that's just not quite right there. I should be able to sweep my knife through there. That's alright. Just a little bit there. See how that cuts when it's wet? It's great. It really is. Alright. Alright, see how smooth that goes in down to the bottom there? And then what you want to do is you want to sweep that out as well from this way over. Just like that. Perfect. Getting a little bit out at a time. And then doing this more towards the nut area here. You know, try to clean all of this up. You know, it's a challenge to get all those markings off, folks. It's not always that easy. And see, on this side, you can get in there pretty easily to clean that up. Alright. Again, this is going underneath the body. This is kind of thick here, so we're going to chop some of this off here. It's going to have to go up. Alright. We're still shaping him up a bit, folks. You know, he's quite wide. But I'm going to leave him the way he is. I might thin this up that back here a little bit. You know, this just seems a little bit too wide for me, for my liking here. You know, and as we're doing this, you can see what needs to be removed, and you just go back and trim it out a little bit. You know, it's perfectly okay to do that. Now this here, you see how we did the arm here? So how we're going to do it here too. We're just going to cut this in. We're going to cut it upward. Alright, just like so. Alright. Now we're going to trim that in there. Alright. And there's a lot more that needs to come off here in the back as well. Alright. But like I said, over here you're going to just trim it off, and then back here you're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to just kind of round that in a little bit if you can. Take a little bit more off at the bottom of that cheek. And then there you go, that looks a little better. Going up. Yeah, there you go. It's amazing when you can look at this thing 100 times and you always see something you can improve or do a little bit better, a little different. And a couple of cuts can make a world of difference sometimes. And it's going to be a few more clips before we're done with him. I am going to probably sand him, and I'm going to explain to those folks that don't have a wood burner what you can do, and those of us that do, we're going to burn all his hair in, and then we're going to do some neat little things here to finish him up. I'm going to go on the back here and just take some of this off. This piece was a little bit harder than I like, but when you spray it, folks, it makes a world of difference, making it softer so you can work with it. Okay, see how I'm thinning them up a little bit, just like so, trying to blend in the back here. Okay, I'm going to do some more of that and try to trim off some more here and there. Alright. You're seeing me flip all over the place here. It's just, we're not done with the nut portion here either yet. I'm trying to get his body a little more proportioned to his arms. And then we'll worry about putting the hands on a little bit later here. Alright, so we'll be back.